So where we're going to pick up is we're past pre-qualification being pre-approved.
Right.
So where do we go from there?
So now that you're pre-approved, the fun starts. The part that I really like doing.
Is it really fun?
It actually is very enjoyable for me. Takes a little bit of time maybe, but it is very enjoyable because you start finding out what your client wants and needs and likes in a house. And so this is where that trusted realtor becomes your ally, let's see if I can talk today, and advocate for you, because they're going to help find the search criterias for that home that fits your needs. But you're going to work in conjunction with them.
Oh, okay. So let's break that down. How are you an ally and advocate then?
You know, Chris, that's a great question. The realtor that you have chosen, your trusted advisor, they're an ally in the sense that they are going to help you to express what you really want in a house. You know, whether you like ramblers or two-story, whether you need 3 bedrooms or 6 bedrooms, or, you know, your price point, it may be A, but you may be comfortable with B, which is much lower. You know, where is the comfort zone? And they're going to help you to stay within them, but also expand some of the boundaries if it's a little outside the comfort zone.
Ah, okay. So how does that work with being the advocate then?
So with the advocate, I help reinforce what your comfort zone is when we're submitting the offers. When we find that house or that condo or that piece of land, the trusted realtor, I should say, helps with speaking in your behalf, helping you get the terms that best fit you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So the key thing I'm keying in on this is being a trusted realtor. So let's imagine if it's me.
Yes.
Let's say I have trust issues.
Yeah.
Right? So how are you going to be able to be that trusted realtor for me?
Okay, so one of the things is as a realtor, we need to listen to our clients, because a lot of times people will say one thing, but their body language says another, or the inflections in their voice say another. You know, maybe part of being trusted is helping guide them to gaining comfort with the higher price point. You know, understanding what those numbers are, what they do, and where we're at in the market, as well as what future values could be or where they might be in the future. I mean, some people are in jobs where they're topped out. Others, there's a lot of income earning potential. At the end of the day, the client is the one that ultimately has to make the payments as well as do the upkeep. I know, for instance, when my husband and I bought probably our 3rd house, and we had to adjust our price point and what our payments were, even though the payments were more than what we were used to. You look at the payments that we had back then and you hear them now and you laugh, because it's like, oh yeah, our income goes up, and the payments, if you don't refinance it, will stay pretty much at that rate with maybe a little bit of increase for taxes and insurance.
Ah, so were you paying in seashells back then?
Yeah, right, Chris.
There was a bartering system?
Bartering system, yeah, because, you know, I'm ancient of days, according to last week's podcast.
Those are your words, not mine. But we will keep that. So we're talking about reality. Let's get out of the fantasy world that I've just built.
Yeah, it's a lovely
and
one.
we're talking about reality. So you said when we talked previously on this subject about reality versus comfort zone. So you were kind of talking about that a little bit. Why don't you elaborate?
Right. So reality can be, we're approved for $580,000. Maybe our payments are going to be $3,600 a month. Well, for some people, you know, that's no big deal. They're comfortable with that. But then there's others that go, you know what? $2,500 is my threshold, you know, or 25 to 29, which means, okay, well, they can't afford anything over 525, which means we really should be looking in the 450 to 475 price range because of the bidding wars.
Right.
We got to leave a cushion, and that way we can stay within those realistic boundaries. But some people go, my budget's $100,000. I want to stay there. Got a question.
In this county?
Yeah, in this county, are you going to find that?
You could, but it'd be a very nasty neighborhood, I imagine.
Yeah, yeah, and it will be cash only. I can almost guarantee you that. So that's the thing is, okay, great, you want to stay in there, but do you have the cash to do, or do you have to finance it? Is it a stick-built home, or is it a condo, or a manufactured? All those things will dictate what is realistic and what is a fantasy.
So, okay, yeah. So you've determined all of that. It's like, okay, what is the reality, what they want, and then what could they comfortably be able to? So where do you take all this information then?
Okay, so then what I do next is I go into the Northwest Multiple Listing Service and I set up a search.
MLS for short, right?
Yes, MLS. And we set up a search. We use the criterias that the client wants. We find out what neighborhoods, what cities, what counties. I mean, there's some people that go, okay, I really don't care the county. It could be King, Pierce, or Snohomish, but I need it to have 3 bedrooms. I want 1,500 square feet, and I want it under 480. Okay, great.
That's a wide net.
It's a wide net, but I don't want any condos, and I don't want any mobile homes.
Okay, that narrows it down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. But then there's others that say, I want within this school district. And there may be one home. And they say their budget's $600,000, but the budget for that school district is $850,000. Okay, so if that's not going to be realistic, then we might have to expand or reevaluate or put a plan in place so that they can get that home. Whether it's saving up more money or trying to get a bigger loan or whatever the case may be. But setting up that search with those parameters, once we do that, we send it out and we'll set it up where as soon as new listings are online, it will be sent to them. But that doesn't mean that the job of the realtor just stops there. It's not like it goes on autopilot and, leave it. You still have to maybe look outside of those initial criteria because I've had clients tell me, I love split entries. I want a split entry. And that was the only thing that they were looking for. But then you find this really good Rambler or 2-story home. And that's the one that they fall in love with because you were hearing that they want it move-in ready. They want to turn it into a rental 5 years from now. This is not their forever home. So you got to take those other factors into consideration. But if you think it's their forever home, you could be missing out on ones that would actually get them closer to their end goals if they want to be an investor and have rental properties.
Gotcha.
So that's why it's really important to hear not just what they say, but how they say it, and also find out what their goals are. Because that will help you to set them up for success in the future. You can reevaluate it each year with them or every 6 months to make sure that we're still working towards that goal because life changes.
Yeah, that's a lot of different factors. You sounded like a life counselor more than a realtor. It's just like, what are your goals in life? And then it's like, oh, yeah, we'll progress. We'll return in 6 months. It's like, wow, are we doing therapy right now?
Well, you almost have to do a little bit of it because sometimes the goal of a trusted realtor should be what's in your client's best interest. They may want it, but is that really in their best interest? If not, why not? They need to be educated and they need to understand. And so it's really important for us to be clear. And if we're not clear, find different words that they can hear and understand.
Yeah. So this is kind of a very interesting session that we've had so far.
I know.
I should be laying down, I feel like.
Yeah. Let's recline now and let's find out
where is my couch? I should have a couch.
Well, maybe one of those divans. I cannot speak.
I don't know how to pronounce that word either.
It's one of those lounging couches.
Yeah, I mean, they look nice.
I know, right? They're actually kind of comfortable if you get the right one.
I always think of the plush ones for some reason in my head.
Kind of
like
blurry.
Velvety.
Yeah. Kind of a bluish color, gold.
Depending on where they are and what they look like, that gives off a different signal.
Exactly.
It's like, hello. I am laying on my divan.
Yes.
Please come and tell me your problems.
Yeah.
And we'll find you your nice house.
Exactly. So Chris, this is where I actually have a lot of fun is that I send out the email or just some of the ideas and I let you or the client tell me what they like and don't like about the houses that we're sending them. They can adjust it or whatever, but when they find ones, whether it's through the MLS or maybe they found a for sale by owner or whatever on Zillow or, something like that, we'll set up the showing appointments. We'll make it pretty painless, and try to be conscientious of people's time, but also what the market is doing. There's some things we can't delay on and other things, so if you're a slow thinker, and decision maker in this market, it could be a little stressful. And so is your realtor going to be pushing you to make choices that you're not comfortable with, or are they going to help guide you so that you feel comfortable with it? Might be a little outside the comfort zone, but you're willing to pull the trigger because you know it's good for you at the end.
Right. And I think that's a problem with a lot of people. They just we want to go and look at houses.
Yeah.
And then kind of mill around, not knowing that the market is they may see a house.
Yeah.
But then next time around, it is gone.
So, and that brings me to some of the experiences I've had just in the last couple weeks. We've gone to houses that were active. There was no offers. Next thing we know, as soon as we're leaving, I'm calling the agent to find out, what's the highest. They go, oh, we just signed around an offer. They hadn't turned it pending, but within that hour time, they had 5 offers and made a decision.
Right.
Some of them are having 21 to 24 offers right now. It can be very stressful out there. And so then people get desperate and they start making concessions or waiving contingencies that are designed to protect them. And that's probably another topic for us to get into is the importance of a home inspection.
Right. They can't be instantly, it's oh man, are we going to find a house? We just need to pull the trigger now.
Right.
And then they're left hanging with a lot bigger problem on their hands.
Exactly. And so those are things that the buyer needs to know because in this market, some agents are telling their sellers, oh, it's best when they waive all these contingencies. Well, no, it kind of opens a lot of people up for liabilities and it can be very scary. And then people can be stuck with a really big bill that they were blindsided by.
Right. Well, to make sure I don't get a big bill from our therapy session, I think we should end it off right there.
Probably.
Right.
So next time.
Because I know you charge a lot.
Yeah. Yes, but it's well worth it.
We'll see how we are in this later part of our journey.
Yeah.
We'll return to that question later.
Yeah, you get what you pay for, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So, all right. This has been the podcast with no name so far.
Oh, it's not therapy on the divan?
Man. Really, cut that in at the very end. Put that as the ending title for this. The therapy on the divan. Okay. My name is Chris.
My name is Cheri.
All right, and we'll talk to you later.